Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing today? My name is Darius, and this is Shannon. This is our first episode of our podcast, our External Wisdom podcast. I want to thank everyone who has been supporting us on our journey so far. It's only up from here. But a little bit about myself. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm a business major on a pre-law track. I chose Morehouse because I felt like it was going to give me the best opportunities and as far as my future and everything. I had a lot of choices in high school, but due to the history and the foundation that Morehouse has set, I feel like Morehouse is going to be the best choice for me. And it's actually been going pretty smooth. And I'm really glad that I came here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon Coleman. I'm a psychology major, but sometimes I tell people I'm a business finance major. But I definitely major in psychology. I don't have a minor. I'm not on a track, but I like psychology and I like reading people. I like to evaluate people, and I think psychology helps me do that, and it helps me understand like people's trauma, why they act a certain way. But I chose Morehouse because I said I'm from Chicago.
Mm.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. And in Chicago, it's like it's the resources are very scarce, especially where like I come from. I know the same thing in Darius, like the way and like how he grew up and stuff like that. Not saying we came from like a terrible place, but like in Baton Rouge is crazy, in Chicago is crazy. So like coming to Atlanta, coming to a place in Morehouse, you definitely get a different outlook on people, and like you get a different outlook on like black men, and you see how you can actually be something and give you hope. And I seen that I was like, I don't gotta be what I see every day in Chicago. I could be something different. So that's my background. That's Darius' background. So I got a question, and it's off topic, real quick. Like I asked you before I went to college, right? If you can do anything, don't got to be college related, none of that. What would it be?
If I can do anything,
Anything. Like if you could be anything,
be anything,
career wise, like
career wise,
rapper, artist.
rapper, I wouldn't choose nothing like that. I feel like I want to be uh a wealthy businessman with my name. No, not scratch it. I want to be a well-known motivational speaker.
That's real.
A well-known motivational speaker. I feel like I want to be a well-known motivational speaker because if I was well known, I know I do my little motivation and speaking now, but if I was well known like across the globe, like worldwide, then I feel like I can touch more people and inspire other people and help other people when they're going through certain situations or when they feel like they need guidance because it's a lot of people in this world that needs help but they're scared to say something. And due to the environment, it's like they want to they want to hold it in. They scared to be judged by society. And that's something that I really would have wanted to change if I could be a well-known motivational speaker because I would have wanted everybody to feel like you are great who you are. You are your own person. You have your own voice, so you should use it at all times.
True. So another question. Say you go down a motivational speaker route, and you going all around the world. These people that hear your voice, and it's amazing, and it's motivating them to change their life. How do you instill discipline within these people? Well, instilling discipline in somebody is kind of hard. They got to do it themselves. How would you take the further step to doing things around the world to make sure people are doing what they're supposed to do? Of course, you can't micromanage them,
Hmm.
but what like, because you can go on the stage and speak and motivate them, but then when they go home, they might do something different.
Yeah.
What steps or what events would you have to put in place so that people can stay motivated and become disciplined and actually change the world?
Honestly, one for sure thing is consistency. I would have to like stay consistent in whatever I'm doing. I wouldn't just like go somewhere and motivate them for that day. I try to make a lasting impact wherever I'm at. So if I was to go fly out somewhere, it would have to be at least a week that I can actually like get to know these people, get to know them outside of everything, like as a person, build a connection with those people so they can actually like trust me and know where I'm actually coming from. Because a lot of times I feel like people we have a deeper connection than people may think. Like the stuff that shaped me into the man that I am today. People have the same problems. People have similar problems, but it's just the person you become is about how you go about those problems, how you handle those problems in face of adversity. So, with that being said, consistency, connections, building trust, building a relationship with these people that would allow me to further help them in the long run. I can also get them, like, contact information if they ever need something. I'm always gonna speak positivity, but if their relationship ever needs to be just one on one, then they can always count on me and reach out to me if they ever need something.
Let me ask you, contact information. If you're gonna be all around the globe, how you gonna reply to all these people? What if somebody texting you in French? How do you plan to reply to all these people? And say, for instance, like you said, you would build connections and you stay consistent. What if you go to Germany
You
and
know,
you have an event, and then you can't speak their language? You can't speak in German, and you want to touch people all around the world. Pause. You don't want to touch anybody. What's your words? I'm tweaking. I'm sorry. Um, how do you navigate community service events or doing things so that people know who you are? But it's basically like you running for presidency
mhm.
in a sense. How would you go about that? Of course, so it's a two questions. How do you navigate people that speak a different language, and how do you navigate having events in these certain places all around the world?
I'm gonna answer your second question first.
Mhm.
Yes, I will serve places all around the world because I feel like everyone in the world can use guidance, could use a little bit of encouragement so they can keep going and keep building a foundation for themselves so they can have a platform in the future. But to answer your first question, however, um, what I was gonna say, since I'm a business major, I feel like it's gonna be more like a business. So I can like hire people for certain things, including language translations. I can have someone that speaks the different type of language that works for me. That's why I'm going to school for business, so I can always know how I need to manage people and manage my business in any case scenario. So I'll probably have someone that speaks French, German,
That can
and
translate.
and Spanish that can translate it to them and get them back on the right track.
Interesting. Okay. So you said you're on a pre-law track. What type of lawyer would you like to be?
This I'm still kind of deciding on what type of lawyer I want to be. I know entertainment law is like one of my top three. Entertainment, personal injury, and criminal justice is
Mm.
my top three fields that I want to study. But I want to open my own law firm. So if I do that, I'll be able to practice any type of law that I want to and not work for somebody in one specific area.
That's thorough. I'm always for that. You can work with somebody for a certain amount of time, but it gets to a point where you should always want your
Yeah.
own practice.
Yeah.
I always promote having your own,
You got to like it's not even it's not even an option at this
especially
point.
nowadays.
Especially nowadays, people get mad and upset, then they want to have, it just the work environment, bro. Like you just something we can't do.
That's real. So, because now we're planning on going to schools, right?
Hmm.
These schools, and nowadays it is a YN takeover. So, how do you plan for us when we go to these schools and speak to these kids? How do you plan to, I guess, speak to someone who has either been shot or someone who has, of course, lost loved ones, or someone who shot somebody? If they open up to you and they say something like that, how would you help that type of person? Because it's gonna be kids that are dealing with stuff like this, high
Yeah.
schools, middle schools, all of that, or like abuse in the home.
Hmm.
How would you speak to that type of kid?
So where I'm from is, I'm not gonna say it's worse than Atlanta, but it's definitely up there. So I really didn't experience a lot of things. I done been through a lot of things. I know people who did just about everything in the book, from getting shot to killing people to all type of things. But what I learned from that is everything happens for a reason. You always, if say you got shot and you're still alive, that means God is not finished with you. So that you getting shot should be like your turning point, your waking up point to like, okay, this life stuff real. I gotta take it more serious. So if I was to speak to a kid and he would have told me he got shot, first I would try to see like what type of environment is he in, like what is he doing that caused him to get shot. And I would try to, I can't really change a kid because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, someone's gonna do what they want to do. But as far as speaking positivity into his life, I'm gonna try to tell him, instill into him that it's more things than being in the streets. Point blank. I know many times people be in the streets because of the environment they come from or the people they hang around. But 9 times out of 10, that's really not cool. Like, it's more things out here to life than to be doing street like activities. If you really want to change yourself, change how you living, change how like your mother's living, your family's living, then you need to do stuff that would allow you to make that change. You need to grow as a person. You need to change your crowd, change your environment. You can't hang around the people with negative impacts. I had to learn that the hard way because where I'm from, Glen Oaks in Louisiana, it's like it really it's like the hood, it's like the jungle. So they never. I'm the first person that ever come to Morehouse from my hood. So that really was a key point in trying to portray a good image that they have people in that area that can do great things. So with that being said, you know, like I was saying, I would try to do my best to see where he's coming from, because at the end of the day, I probably either experienced it or know someone who experienced it, so we can have a connection on a deeper level. And I would try to do my best to help him change whatever he's going, whatever happened.
I definitely agree with that. I don't want to speak to that as well. Changing your company. I think that's
Yes.
probably the biggest thing that you can do. The people that you're around, because the people that you're around, I feel like they have the biggest influence on what you do and where you go in life. Because it was a situation with, because I got a few friend groups, and like growing up, I did live about three lives. Like where I come from is over east. That's the east side of Chicago, like South Shore. And then I had my granny and them lived in the suburbs. And then I had a grandma that stayed like south side, like south side over east, but I always was over east. And like me going to the burbs, it's like, oh, it's big houses. It's another life to what I got going on. And it's like when I come back to the city, it's like, I see all these different things. And then I was mostly in the city. I didn't live with my grandparents. So just seeing these things, I was like, I can only be this, 'cause in the city, it's you only got crackheads, drug dealers, people that's
Hmm.
doing all this. And you subject to what you see in your environment. And until I got exposed, until I went to Kenwood, my high school, that's when I saw it was different things for me to do in this life. And I actually went to go speak at Ariel Academy in in Chicago, and they had bring me this kid. They said he was they didn't call him trouble, but they said he getting a lot of trouble. And when I was talking to him, I was rip. I cut off all of the stage. I code switched, I'll say, because when I was in front of all of the faculty and all the kids, of course, I said things differently and I talked. I carried myself very differently when I was in front of the teachers. But when I got with him, I was talking to him like he was my real little brother, and I was asking him like real questions. But the first thing he told me, he was like, "Yeah, I got anger issues." That kid in seventh grade, how is he capable of knowing he have anger issues? Either he was taught that or these people told him that because of how he acts out of emotion. Just because you get angry quickly does not mean that you have anger issues. Anger issues, I believe, is something that people just diagnose people who get angry fast. But talking to that kid, he explained to me and he expressed to me because I guess in that space, like, would make them feel comfortable
Hmm.
and then see like you came from a certain place, so I can talk to them because that's really what they
Yeah.
need: a big brother,
Yes.
a father, some guidance,
Yes.
and that's what we plan to bring to these kids that need help. But talking to him, I really expressed to him, and I gave him my number, and it's like I ain't hear nothing back from the teacher, so I guess he did. I guess he been being good or something like that.
Like he changed a little
Yeah,
bit.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Because he's seen. Because I told him like the story on how like we know people that already. So
Mm-hmm.
you keep doing what you're gonna do, you're gonna be down this path.
Yes.
And one thing I use for kids, I always ask them, do they like money? Because money can be a motivator that gets you out of the streets, that make you do things differently than the streets. Of course, you can get money while you're in the streets, but if you really want to move your mama out and you want to buy things for your family, the streets ain't gonna get you there for sure. Because we all know the two paths that the streets lead you to.
Death or in jail. So.
And this brings me to my next question. Now, I'm speaking this into existence. We had this talk already. Say, for instance, we start going to these schools. We get on the news. Of course, people they shouting us out. And what if it gets to a point where it's too much? It's too much where we need to hire people, and now it's messing up track, school. It's getting in the way of like, because what if we like the lady?
Mm-hmm.
She says she wants to come and teach algebra
Mm-hmm.
at 8 in the morning or wherever. I got 8 a.m. all week, and I know Darius got morning classes as well.
Yeah.
So how would we navigate? You can answer first, and then I'll of course
Okay.
touch upon it. How would we navigate when we start getting booked? And then of course money gonna start rolling in.
Yes.
So we get booked. We having we got to go talk to this school at this time. Talk to
Mhm.
this school at this time. How would we navigate that? And how do you think Morehouse would feel about that? Of course, with the publicity, they'll feel good. But us not being able to go to class and things like that, how do you think?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. I feel like once we do, I'm speaking into existence because I know it's gonna happen.
For
But
sure.
once we do start building, I say clientele,
Mhm.
clientele or whatever. I feel like it's just gonna be based on us how we navigate the situation. We're gonna have to like plan everything out. We're gonna have to have an actual calendar on like a time frame. Like people have certain time slots that they're available. We're going to have to change a lot of our our availability schedule
Mhm.
to okay, if this school needs us at such and such time, um, we probably can like split up. One we can you send you here,
Right. Yeah.
send me there, or if we both don't have class, we can go together. Or even if say I have practice or something and you're free, then you can go speak to him. And the next day, if you're doing something, I can go speak to him. But it's really about how we plan, how we
Yeah.
go about the situations. And also, I wouldn't allow just me and you, since it's just me and you so far, I wouldn't allow us. We might find some like minded people eventually. But since it's just me and you so far, we'll have to like balance everything out so we wouldn't try to over occupy ourselves
Yeah.
at all
I,
just because it's just two people
I think
trying to
it's like-minded people, but it is I don't see a lot of genuine people.
yeah
A lot
like
of people they do things for money, and
and attention. I feel like they
yeah,
do a lot of things for money and attention
it's true.
and also for social media as well.
Hmm.
Like the media, they just do things to try to uphold the image.
Hmm.
But I
They
I
do a lot
mean,
of things that are based for like entertainment,
yeah.
and it's actually interesting because me and Darius we do our channel, and he's working on the YouTube. Make sure y'all comment, tell him start a YouTube channel, bro. I
Hmm.
want Darius to get a YouTube channel, but then I got another channel that's like entertainment and stuff. And of course that's a balance.
Hmm.
But I say that to say that we don't care for the glitz and the glam and the glory at all. And I think finding people, I think all we will be able to find is people that can like do the work that we might not have time to do. Like make
Hmm.
the schedules, call these
Yes.
people, and then we
Yes.
just show up, you know? But I want to ask a question. When this blows, say for instance, we booked, right?
Hmm.
And say for our booking price is about 1 to 3,000. They're paying us 1 to 3,000 to come to a school and motivate these children. What if we accumulate, let's say 50,000? This is in total 25, 25. How would you feel about staying in school? Honest answer.
Honest answer.
Because I say you can always come back
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
definitely can always come back. But if it's to a point to where we doing so much that we don't need school,
Hmm.
then I feel like we can actually take that time off of school. Like generally speaking, we already in our second semester, our freshman year. So say by our sophomore year, our spring semester in our sophomore year, give it like a year. If we're actually, like he said, we're having clientele and not even about the income, but as far as income to like that 1 to 3,000 people trying to book us to come talk to them over the world at that, then I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we can either take semesters off, like come back to school once we get like a great group of people that can actually help us navigate through our day-to-day lives with external wisdom, or it'll probably be harder for us to take our classes online, which I know that's not a bad option,
Yeah.
but taking classes online, especially as far as like our business classes, like
Mm-hmm.
our major classes, I should say,
Yeah.
I feel like there'll probably be more to it in person because we'll just do the work online, but it's not like we're going to be actually getting like any type of knowledge from an actual professor who has been down that route.
True.
So I feel like taking the time off of school would be our best benefit.
True. So it's something I've been going through. I'm jumping from to a different topic. Who is there to talk to about things like this? Like the situation we're in. Say we get to that point, right?
Hmm.
Do you have anybody who's been in a position like this, or who is a successful person that is to talk to that can actually help you navigate what to do?
Honestly, I really don't. Like, I
Me
know a
either.
couple people like that. Not like as far as in my position, in our position where we want to be. I don't know a group of people that has actually did something, started from the ground up, and then built how they planned on it.
Hmm.
But I know like certain careers, I should say, because for us, motivation, like speaking to the people trying to change the outcome of the world, that's something that me and you came up with,
Yeah,
and not I don't know nobody really trying to push the issue like we are. So I really couldn't see nobody like we going to nobody for anything. I feel like as of now, all we have is each other. Like we only understand where each other is coming from. We only understand where we want to be and how we can get there. But I know we have a great support system.
for sure.
We can always talk to the people that support us the most, but I feel like on the mindset thing, nobody really is there.
Yeah, and I say that to say because I was thinking about it, and I know a lot of times people they don't want to do things because there's nobody to talk to. Like
Mhm,
they don't, they're scared to do it because there's nobody in this field, then they see it as impossible.
mhm.
And I want you all to realize that we're in the same exact position. It's not impossible until you make it possible. So all you got to do is do it. This podcast is long overdue to a degree, but we had to fit things into Darius' schedule. Very busy guy. So I want to make that full circle and just motivate you all to just go for whatever you want to go for. It's not impossible. I promise you, it's not impossible. Think about everything that was made. The first plane, I'm pretty sure they told him that it was impossible. Everything that was made at once was impossible until someone just had the grit and determination to do it.
Yeah, with that being said, also, you got to keep going no matter the situation that you're going through. You can always get over whatever you put your mind to.
Mhm.
Defeat is only defeat if you let it overtake your mindset. And do not think that failure is bad, because failure is the only way you're going to take W's. Like, you think everyone is just perfect. Everyone is not perfect.
Uh-uh.
Everyone on this earth is not perfect. Nothing is perfect. Uh, Say for instance, phones, they had failed a million times before they can make a brand new phone like this, or a technology. They just ain't make technology off the top of their head. They had to go through trials and tribulations, and they had to fail in order to succeed. So with
Mhm.
that being said, I want everybody to stay positive. Failure is not bad, I promise. You're going to take a lot of losses in this life. There's going to be a lot of lessons that you're going to learn, a lot of people that you're going to learn from. a lot of people that's going to be put in your life to teach you certain lessons, and you just always got to stay positive no matter what. Remember that God is in control. He's the only one in control or whatever situation that you're going through. Always stay positive, stay blessed, stay preaching the word, stay listening to the word, because the word is very powerful. If you really understand the word and the Bible, then your life is gonna skyrocket, I promise.
For real. That's all I got.
That's all we got. With that being said, thank y'all for watching our first podcast. We're gonna stream our podcast every Saturday, so stay tuned for that, and follow us on Instagram at External Wisdom, and follow us on TikTok at External Wisdom. Subscribe to our YouTube, External Wisdom.
Yeah.
Subscribe to 7 Paid, on YouTube, on Instagram.
Everything will be in the description.
Yeah,
we're gonna put everything in the description.
in the
Make sure y'all
description.
like, comment, subscribe, and be ready every Saturday for a video.
And also follow us on Instagram, and we're gonna post questions, like a response. So if y'all ever want to ask a question, just post put it on our Instagram, and we'll answer in the next podcast. But thank y'all. We love y'all, and thanks for all the support.
For sure.